Igniting change, the power of one person's action. Welcome to the Black CEO podcast, where we explore the transformative power of leadership and personal growth. Today, we're embarking on a journey that will challenge your perspective, ignite your passion, and inspire you to become the catalyst for change in your world. I recently had the extraordinary privilege of sitting down with Lakesha Sakyi, a visionary leader whose insights and experiences have the potential to reshape our understanding of personal impact and societal transformation. Lakesha Sakyi isn't just a successful executive, she's a force of nature, a beacon of hope in a world often clouded by cynicism and inaction. Her approach to leadership in life has sparked a revolution in corporate culture, community engagement, and personal development. But what makes Lakesha truly remarkable is her unwavering belief in the power of individual action, a belief that has led her to transform countless lives and inspire a new generation of changemakers. As we dive into the wisdom I gained from our conversation, I want you to ask yourself, what if the key to unlocking a better future isn't waiting for others to act, but taking that first courageous step ourselves? What if the change we've been waiting for has been within us all along? Let's start with a story that encapsulates the essence of being the change we want to see. Early in her career, Lakesha found herself in a workplace that was, to put it mildly, as diverse as a loaf of white bread. Instead of resigning herself to the status quo or waiting for HR to wave a magic wand, she decided to take matters into her own hands. Picture this: a young Lakesha, armed with nothing but determination and a handful of snacks, organizing informal meetups for underrepresented employees. These weren't grand corporate sponsored events. No, they were intimate gatherings in break rooms and coffee shops, creating safe spaces for people to share their experiences, frustrations, and dreams. What started as a small ripple soon became a wave. These meetups grew, catching the attention of senior leadership. Suddenly, the company that once seemed colorblind was seeing in vibrant hues. Hiring practices shifted, professional development opportunities expanded, and the workplace culture transformed. But here's the kicker: Lakesha didn't have a fancy title. She wasn't the CEO or even a manager at the time. She was just one person who saw a need and decided to do something about it. One person who understood that change doesn't always require grand gestures or official mandates. Sometimes it starts with a simple conversation and the courage to take that first step. This story illustrates a crucial point that Likasha emphasized throughout our conversation. Change isn't something that happens to us, it's something that happens through us. It's a powerful reminder that we don't need to wait for permission to make a difference. We just need to start where we are with what we have. Now, you might be thinking, that's all well and good, but I'm not Lakesha Sakyi. I don't have her influence or resources. And that's exactly the point I want to drive home today. Being the change we want to see isn't about position or title, it's about mindset and action. Let me share another story that beautifully illustrates this concept. Lakesha told me about a young intern in her company who noticed that the office recycling program was about as effective as a chocolate teapot. Instead of shrugging it off as not my problem, this intern channeled their inner Captain Planet. They researched better recycling practices, crunched numbers, and put together a proposal that would make even the most hardened executives sit up and take notice. The result? A complete overhaul of the company's sustainability efforts, led by that same intern who now heads the newly formed Green Initiative team. This story reminds us that change can come from anywhere within an organization or within society. It's not about waiting for permission or for someone else to take the lead. It's about recognizing opportunities for improvement and having the audacity to act on them. But let's be real for a moment. Taking that first step isn't always a walk in the park. Fear of failure, self doubt, and the siren song of the status quo can all hold us back. Lakasha addressed this head on in our conversation, sharing her own battles with imposter syndrome and self doubt. She recounted a pivotal moment in her career when she was offered a high profile project that seemed as daunting as climbing Everest in flip flops. Her initial instinct was to run for the hills, convinced that she wasn't qualified enough. But then she remembered a piece of advice from her mentor: if your dreams don't scare you, They're not big enough. So Lakesha decided to embrace the challenge, viewing it as an opportunity for growth rather than a potential for failure. She worked tirelessly, sought help when needed, and ultimately delivered a project that didn't just meet expectations, it pole vaulted over them. This experience taught her a valuable lesson. Growth happens outside our comfort zone. It's in those moments of uncertainty and challenge that we discover what we're truly capable of. It's a reminder that being the change we want to see often means facing our fears head on and having the courage to say yes when every fiber of our being is screaming no. But Lakesha's approach to leadership and change goes beyond personal growth. She emphasized the importance of what she calls leading from within. This philosophy is based on the radical idea that to truly lead others, we must first lead ourselves. Lakesha shared a personal story that perfectly illustrates this concept. There was a time in her life when she felt overwhelmed by professional and personal responsibilities. She was burning the candle at both ends and the middle, and pretty much any other part of the candle she could find. Instead of pushing through and risking burnout, she made the bold decision to step back and invest in her own well being. She embarked on a journey of self discovery that would make Elizabeth Gilbert's Eat, Pray, Love adventure look like a trip to the corner store. Lakesha incorporated meditation, journaling, and regular exercise into her daily routine. She even took up interpretive dance, though she assures me that footage of those sessions will never see the light of day. The results were nothing short of transformative. Not only did Lakesha find herself better equipped to handle stress and make clear decisions, but she also noticed a positive shift in her relationships with colleagues and team members. By prioritizing her own growth and well being, she became a more empathetic, patient, and effective leader. This experience taught Lakesha a valuable lesson. We cannot pour from an empty cup. To be the change we want to see in the world, we must first nurture and develop ourselves. It's a powerful reminder that self care isn't selfish, it's essential for those who want to make a lasting impact. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, that's all well and good for Lakesha, but my life is chaos. I barely have time to brush my teeth, let alone embark on a journey of self discovery. And I get it. Life can be overwhelming. But here's the thing, being the change we want to see isn't about making grand, sweeping gestures. It's about small, consistent actions that add up over time. Lakesha shared a story about a colleague who felt similarly overwhelmed. This person decided to start small by dedicating just 5 minutes each morning to meditation. At first, it felt like an eternity, but over time, those 5 minutes became 10, then 15. Not only did this person's stress levels decrease, but they also found themselves more focused and productive throughout the day. The lesson here is clear. Start where you are. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. Small, consistent actions can lead to significant change over time. But being the change isn't just about personal growth, it's also about inspiring and empowering others. Lakesha emphasized the importance of mentorship and creating opportunities for others to shine. She shared a touching story about a young woman she mentored who went from a shy, uncertain intern to a confident team leader in just a few years. Lakesha's approach to mentorship goes beyond just sharing knowledge. She believes in actively creating opportunities for growth and visibility for her mentees. This might mean recommending them for high profile projects, inviting them to important meetings, or even stepping back to allow them to take the lead. She calls this philosophy lifting as we climb, and it's a powerful way to multiply our impact. By investing in others and helping them grow, we create a ripple effect of positive change that extends far beyond our individual actions. Now, I want to address a common misconception about being the change we want to see. It's not about being perfect or having all the answers. In fact, Lakesha stressed the importance of vulnerability and authenticity in leadership. She shared a powerful story about a time when a major project under her leadership faced significant setbacks. The project was in such dire straits that it made the Titanic look like a successful voyage. Instead of trying to cover up the issues or shift blame, Lakesha chose to be transparent with her team and senior management. She openly acknowledged the challenges, took responsibility for her part in the setbacks, and invited collaborative problem solving. It was a risky move that could have backfired spectacularly. But something amazing happened. This approach not only led to innovative solutions that saved the project, but also fostered a culture of trust and open communication within her team. It's a reminder that being the change we want to see isn't about being flawless. It's about being real, admitting our mistakes, and continuously striving to do better. Lakesha's story highlights an important truth. Authenticity is a superpower. In a world that often encourages us to put on a mask, to pretend we have it all figured out, there's immense power in being genuine. It creates connections, builds trust, and inspires others to do the same. As we near the end of our time together, I want to circle back to the central message of Lakesha's insights. Being the change we want to see is not just a lofty ideal, it's a practical, actionable approach to creating positive impact in our lives and in the world around us. So, what does this mean for you? How can you apply these lessons in your own life? Lakesha offered three key takeaways. First, start where you are. You don't need a fancy title or a big platform to make a difference. Look around your current environment, your workplace, your community, your family. Where do you see opportunities for positive change? What small step can you take today to address those opportunities? Second, invest in your own growth. Remember, we can't pour from an empty cup. Make time for self reflection, learning, and personal development. This might mean reading books, attending workshops, seeking out mentors, or simply carving out time for quiet reflection. The stronger and more self aware you become, the more effective you'll be in creating positive change. Finally, lift as you climb. Look for opportunities to mentor others, to share your knowledge and experiences. Create space for others to shine and grow. Remember, true leadership isn't about being in the spotlight, it's about illuminating the path for others. Lakesha's journey and insights remind us that being the change we want to see isn't just a responsibility, it's an opportunity to grow, to challenge ourselves to make a meaningful impact on the world around us. So as we conclude, I want to leave you with a challenge that might make you uncomfortable, that might push you out of your comfort zone, but that has the potential to change your life and the lives of those around you. I want you to identify one area in your life or community where you see a need for change. It could be something small, like improving communication in your workplace, or something larger, like addressing a social issue in your community. Now, here's the challenging part. I want you to commit to taking one concrete action towards addressing that issue within the next 24 hours. It doesn't have to be big, it could be as simple as having a conversation, doing some research, or making a plan. The important thing is that you take that first step. Remember, every great movement, every significant change started with one person deciding to take that first step. Rosa Parks didn't set out to start a civil rights movement. She simply decided she wasn't going to give up her seat. Malala Yousafzai didn't intend to become a global advocate for education. She just wanted to go to school. You have that same power within you, the power to start a ripple that could become a wave of positive change, the power to be the change you want to see in the world. So I ask you, what change do you want to see in the world, and what's stopping you from being that change right now? The world is waiting for your unique contribution. It's waiting for you to step up, to speak out, to take action. In the words of Lakesha Sakyi, change isn't something that happens to us. It's something that happens through us. So I challenge you, be the change. Start today, start now. The world is waiting, and your journey begins with a single step. Thank you for joining us on this transformative journey. Until next time, keep pushing boundaries, keep growing, and above all, keep being the change you want to see in the world. The future is calling, and it's time for us to answer. Let's make it a future we're proud to create together.